And now, Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer presents Clymer Sherman Panama Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by Countertop Solutions, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Supply, Triple E Manufacturing, Necker's Company General Store, Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing, Troyer's Greenhouse, by Stone Audiology, by Whiteland Surveying, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Mosher Carpeting, J. Edwards Insurance, Utegg's Body Shop, by Lictus Oil and Propane, and Tina Dills, ERA Team VP Licensed Real Estate Agent. And now let's head to the field for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play. And now, Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer presents Clymer Sherman Panama Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by Countertop Solutions, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Supply, Triple E Manufacturing, Necker's Company General Store, Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing, Troyer's Greenhouse, by Stone Audiology, by Whiteland Surveying, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Mosher Carpeting, J. Edwards Insurance, Utegg's Body Shop, by Lictus Oil and Propane, and Tina Dills, ERA Team VP Licensed Real Estate Agent. And now let's head to the field for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play.
Welcome into Clymer, New York. I'm Josh Hosier here on the 98.9 Sports Stream, and we're here for CSP Varsity Baseball versus Frewsburg. And a great way to start the final week of the local high school baseball season. The CCAA Division II number 1 versus number 2, the Frewsburg Bears, 14-2 overall, 13-0 in CCAA Division II action, versus the CSP Wolfpack, 10-4 overall and 10-3 in league action. These two teams also among the top 3 in Class C heading into the playoffs. Frewsburg the top seat and the Wolfpack the 3 seat. Gowanda split them there. Gowanda a team in CCAA Division III. So the Wolfpack and Frewsburg did battle back in the second game of the season for the Pack, and it was a tough loss with the pitcher Gruber going the distance for the Bears, giving up no hits at all to the Wolfpack and conquering the Pack that day in a 13-0 fashion back there on April 7th. That one at Frewsburg, a pretty cold day, and not exactly what the Wolfpack had wanted. They gave up 8 runs in the 4th, which is pretty much what sealed that one. Since then, Frewsburg's had a pretty successful season. They've pretty much just, 10-run to everybody they've played, with the exception of they lost a game to Springville back on Saturday, May 10th. They went to Springville, played a night game, and lost 8-3 to them. And they had a close one with Brockton back on Thursday, May 15th, so that's last week. They won that game 5-1, but a close game. Gave up 7 runs to Pine Valley on Friday, 21-7 victory there. They came back, played Brockton again Saturday, and after the Wolfpack beat up Brockton Friday, Frewsburg Bears beat up Brockton on Saturday 16-5. They'll play CSP today, Dunkirk tomorrow, and they're scheduled to play St. Mary's on Saturday, though I don't know if that one's actually going to happen, just based on getting pitching ready for the playoffs and stuff like that. So this is going to be a pretty big matchup for the Wolfpack, who have clawed their way back into the second spot after beating Brockton on Friday, and then Brockton lost to Frewsburg on Saturday. So the Wolfpack a full game ahead, actually game and a half ahead of Brockton for second place in CCAA Division II standings. And then when we flip it over to the Class C standings, Brockton obviously drops down to Class D, and that means that the Wolfpack doesn't have to contend with them, but they do have to contend with a very good Gowanda team, who's currently the 2 seed. So Frewsburg Gowanda CSP, Portville is the 4. They're a game back of CSP and still in contention to move into that 3 seat. The Wolfpack here have to try to avoid a loss and stay on the Gowanda side of the bracket going into the postseason. Being on the Frewsburg side of the bracket almost guarantees a rematch of these two pitchers, Hinsdale and Gruber. Starting lineups for both teams, starting with Frewsburg, playing shortstop and hitting first is Haglin. Playing catcher and hitting second is Ekman. Playing second base and hitting third is Sheasley. Playing center field and hitting fourth is Peterson. Hitting fifth and pitching is Gruber. Hitting sixth and playing right field is Mazurko. Hitting seventh and playing third base is Beckstrom. Hitting eighth and playing first base is Garrett Weaver. Is it Garrett? There's 2 Weavers, sorry. You don't want to get them confused here. It is... Wow. There we go. Gavin Weaver, the freshman, sorry. And then the left fielder hitting ninth in the lineup is the other Weaver, and that's Blake. He's a senior. So Gruber on the mound. Wolfpack line up to face him. Hitting first and catching is Gavin Burchanowski. Hitting second and pitching is Bryce Hinsdale. Hitting third and playing shortstop is Tate Catneys. Hitting fourth and playing third base is Andrew Spiesman. Hitting fifth and playing center field is Isaiah Burkholder. Hitting sixth and playing first base is Mason Groders. Hitting seventh and playing right field is Caleb Anderson. Hitting eighth and playing left field is Brady Phelps. And hitting ninth and playing second base is Johnny Abers. Gruber v. Hinsdale. Both teams' best pitchers today for this CCAA Division II showdown and really Class C showdown. Wolfpack hoping to claw back one here against Frewsburg. They did split with Brockton, and they don't play Gowanda, so they won't have a chance to see how they do against a team like that. This is the best team in CCAA Division II in Frewsburg, and the Wolfpack will be able to measure themselves a little bit today against that team and see how the playoffs will go. Both teams about ready to get started here as some final conversations with their coaching staffs, and we'll get this thing underway as we'll see Bryce Hinsdale take the mound to face that Bear lineup that has been a Bear for most everybody they've faced, 10 running just about everyone they've played this season. And, of course, you know, doing that, winning all these games without Chase Hagelin pitching. Chase Hagelin, who's their leadoff guy, plays shortstop, is arguably one of their two best pitchers. Unable to pitch this season due to an injury, he's been relegated to the shortstop and power hitting role and has not had a problem coming through in the clutch in those roles. Still a pretty young team, a little kind of like the Wolfpack, a mix of young and older players on this team. For example, Hagelin is a senior, Ekman is a senior, Sheasley is a senior, Peterson is a senior, Gruber is a senior. So the first five in the batting lineup, all seniors. Mazurko is a senior as well. And then we get to some of the younger guys, I believe, after that. Beckstrom's a freshman. Gavin Weaver is a freshman. And then Blake Weaver also a senior. So 7 seniors in the starting lineup for this team. Warm-up pitches coming in from Bryce Hinsdale now as we get ready to get this thing underway. A big matchup for the Pack today as they take on the Bears of Frewsburg. We're going to take a quick word from our sponsor. Come right back here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed.
Bears, Pack, ready to get it started. CCAA Division II, 1 versus 2. First pitch of the game. Hinsdale fires one in. Up in the air from Hagelin. And we'll make a play in left field, and it will be caught there. And Hagelin is up and down that quickly on one pitch. One pitch, one out. That's a good way to get it started for Bryce. Mason Ekman now, the catcher. Ekman steps in. Hinsdale all business, gets his sign and fires inside for ball 1. Hinsdale likes the sign. Here's the 1-0. Gets the strike on the outside half. And it's 1-1. Hinsdale winds and fires. That one outside for ball 2. And testing the umpire to find out how far outside the strike zone is going to go today. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2. And a 2-2 count now to Ekman. Hinsdale not wasting any time. He winds and fires. Outside edge loads the count up. Full count. Hinsdale to deliver. Call. And that's going to be a ball. I thought that was going to be a called strike. He threw his hand up like it was going to be a called strike. Instead, he said that that was high. And Hinsdale will walk Ekman. Maddox Sheasley now, the second baseman. Sheasley steps in. Hinsdale checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the outside half. Hinsdale fires. Called strike. 0-2 quickly now. Bryce going right after Sheasley here. 0-2 to the senior. Bryce checks the runner and steps off. Not sure he liked the setup there and just wanted to cool things down. Hinsdale checking the runner again. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Hit towards center field. Burkholder is on it, and that's another out. Fly out to Burkholder. The runner does not advance. And that brings up Daniel Peterson, the center fielder. Peterson hitting fourth in the lineup for the Bears today. He comes up with 2 out, and the runner on first, that's Ekman who walked. Peterson, a lefty. Hinsdale ready to pitch to him. First pitch, outside for ball 1. A 1-0 now. That's good for strike 1 on the inside half of the plate. He hung that breaking ball, but no action from Peterson there. 1-1 the count. Swung on, hit towards center. Tracking it is Burkholder. He's coming in, and that ball's going to drop in front of him. A single, and the runners are going to advance to second and third. A single for Peterson. Puts Ekman on third, and that brings up the pitcher, Aiden Gruber. So now the pitching matchup takes on a different shape here as the pitcher pitches to pitcher, and Gruber has an opportunity to score some runs for the Bears here in the first inning. First pitch, inside for ball 1. Hinsdale checking the runner at third. Now he pitches inside for ball 2. Brings the fastball in at the waist and pushes Gruber back. 2-0 now. Hinsdale delivers, and another ball. 3-0 to Aiden Gruber. Hinsdale has his sign. Here's the pitch. He walks Gruber. And that'll load the bases up for Cole Mazurko, the right fielder. Mazurko coming up in a big spot here with 2 out and the bases loaded. Hinsdale will deliver the first pitch to him. Fouled off. Oh, 0-1 now to Mazurko. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off the other way. And now 0-2 to Cole Mazurko. Two out, bases loaded, Mazurko behind 0-2. Hinsdale has his sign. Bryce winds and fires, fouled back into the backstop. Count remains the same. Bryce ready, here's the pitch. Swung on by Mazurko. That one's up and out of play as well. So still 0-2. Hinsdale will try it again. Another 0-2 pitch to Mazurko. Outside, swung on and missed, and he punches him out, and the Wolfpack escaped the first with no damage. We'll head to the bottom of the first after this word from our sponsors on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Financial support for this broadcast of CSP Baseball Play-by-Play on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Stone Audiology at 709 East Columbus Avenue in Corry. Also in Bradford, Northeast, and Kane, Pennsylvania. In Jamestown, Olean, Belmont, and Chaffee, New York. Phone 814-664-7070. Online at stoneaudiology.com.
CSP Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Troyer's Greenhouse, now open for the season Monday through Saturday. Troyer's Greenhouse is located at 1669 Weeks Road, just 2 miles west of Panama. Go Wolfpack from Troyer's Greenhouse.
Coverage of Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Whiteland Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Phone 716-499-8410. Find them online at mwhitepls.com. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Whiteland Surveying for their support.
Welcome back into Clymer as the Wolfpack weather the storm in the top of the first, allowing no runs as the Bears went quickly for the first 2 outs and then loaded the bases. But they escaped, and with that escape, the Wolfpack now get a chance to try to get an early advantage as they get their first at-bat here in the bottom of the first. Burchanowski, Hinsdale, Catney's due up for the pack here as Gruber finishes his warm-up pitches. Aiden, probably the hardest thrower the Wolfpack sees all year. I mean, he throws the ball quite a bit harder than anybody else on any of the teams we've played this season, I think. And he sticks that one in the backstop here in front of me. It's a nice pitch when you can stick it in the backstop like that. About ready to get this thing started. Gruber continues to finish his warm-up pitches. And as I said, Burchanowski leading off. He's catching today. Second time he's caught in a row after the Max White injury on Thursday. Was it Thursday or Wednesday? Max's injury occurred. And when Max went down, Gavin's been pushed into catching duties. So the one other game that he didn't catch, he pitched, and Tate Catney's caught. So Gavin has been behind the plate quite a bit now here in the tail end of the season. Gavin has been a pretty solid leadoff hitter, either getting walked or getting on base quite a bit. We'll see how he does against Gruber. First pitch from Gruber, incoming now. And it's called strike in the bottom of the zone. 0-1 now to Gavin. Gruber set to go again. The 0-1. That one's outside down in the dirt, and it's 1-1. That ball broke a long ways way out into the other batting box. Gruber ready. Here's the pitch. And he nearly hit Burchanowski. Actually thought he did hit him, but he did not. So 2-1 now the count. Gruber's pitch. Swung on by Burchanowski, hit over Gruber's head. It'll bounce to the second baseman. He fields it on the hop, throws to first in time, and Burchanowski is retired. That brings up Hinsdale. At one point this season hitting something like 450. I think now it's down in the 350 range, but still really good for a high school baseball player. Bryce, the lefty, steps in to face Gruber. First pitch to Hinsdale. Swung on, hit towards second. Takes it 2 bounces. The second baseman fields it cleanly to first in time. And again, the Wolfpack cannot get a man aboard. 5 pitches so far for Gruber. He's already got 2 outs. And here comes the senior shortstop, Tate Katniss. Tate pitched against Frewsburg back in the second game of the season. And while he pitched pretty well up until the 4th inning, he did end up giving up quite a few runs, and then they switched to Mason Groders, who gave up some more. Tate get a chance to bat here against Gruber. Aiden winds and fires. Tate swings and misses. Strike 1 for the Wolfpack senior. Gruber gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Outside, called strike on the outside half. And it's 0-2 now. Gruber's pitch. Swung on and missed by Katniss. And the Wolfpack go down 1-2-3 in the first. We'll head to the top of the second after this word from our sponsor on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Support for CSP Wolfpack baseball coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listening area and all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790. Tina Dills and the ERA Team VP agents wish the Wolfpack the best of luck.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9. With your eerie weather, your favorite personalities.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday.
You see today local news, entertainment, and information around the clock. And Corry's modern rock. Channel 98.9, your one radio station.
And welcome back into Clymer here on the 98.9 Sports Stream. I'm Josh Hosier, and it's 0-0 after the first as we head to the top of the second. Leading off for the Bears will be Drake Beckstrom, the third baseman, and followed by Gavin and Blake Weaver in that order. To give some context to this Bears team, who handled the pack back in the beginning of the season, they are 14-2, 13-0. They've scored 178 runs and only given up 21 runs. They're a very, very good baseball team. The Wolfpack, pretty good team in their own right, and now we'll see if Hinsdale can ward off the Bears here in the second. First pitch, swung on and missed. So Beckstrom now down 0-1. The 0-1 to Beckstrom. Swung on, hit up high in the air, and foul. Beckstrom now behind 0-2 to the lefty. Hinsdale, wasting no time, sets and fires. Outside ball, called a ball. And it's 1-2. Hinsdale delivers. Down low, and the count goes to 2-2. The 2-2 to Beckstrom. Outside, and the count goes full. Drake Beckstrom back in the box. Hinsdale has his sign. The full count pitch. Outside, swung and fouled off. Beckstrom chased that one out of the strike zone and was able to follow it into the home dugout. We'll try another full count here. Hinsdale winds and fires. High, and he'll walk Beckstrom. Gavin Weaver, the first baseman now. Weaver now in the box. Beckstrom leads off first. Hinsdale delivers. That one's high for ball one. Weaver did show bunt, but nothing in the zone to even bunt at, so he pulled the bat back. A 1-0 from Hinsdale. High again. So it's 2-0. Weaver showed bunt both pitches so far. Beckstrom ready to run over there on first. That one's a ball, and that was the pitch that Hinsdale was hoping he'd catch the corner with. Now he's behind 3-0. Throws a strike right down the middle there. 3-1 now to Weaver. The pitch, swing and a miss for Weaver. Count is now full. Hinsdale delivers, fouled back into the fence. Swung on, hit up in the air and foul. Eighth pitch of the at-bat now. Swung on and hit towards the outfield up in the air. Charging on it, and catch made by Anderson. A fly out to right field ends that at bat. Beckstrom held well by the fielders. Now Blake Weaver. First pitch, attempt to bunt, he fouls that one back. A 1 now. Hinsdale takes a look over at the runner. That's Beckstrom. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground towards short. Fielded there, throw it a second in time. They will not make the play to first in time. Actually overthrow the first baseman, Groders, but he gets to the ball quickly to prevent the runner from moving up. So 2 outs now as they head to the top of the lineup. Chase Hagelin. He flew out back in the first. Hagelin stepping in to face Hinsdale for the second time already today. The pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right side. Oh, 1 to Hagelin. Outside pitch, swung on, hit towards left center. And what a catch out there by Isaiah Burkholder. Burkholder jumps that one and makes a big play for the Wolfpack to get out of the second. We'll head to the break and come back for the Wolfpack batting half at the bottom of the second here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
CSP baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street in Corry. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by NISFA and the New York State Athletic Administrators Association.
Two of the best teams in CCAA Division II going at it today, and also two of the best teams in Class C as we're at it here in Section 6. Frewsburg on top of both CCAA Division II and Class C, and CSP sitting third in Class C and second in the league. The Pack lost to Frewsburg back in the second game of the season. They're trying to avenge that loss today. So far, we're scoreless through 1.5. And Andrew Spiesman, the four-hitter for the Pack, will be due up, followed by Isaiah Burkholder and Mason Groders. Spiesman, 3-run home run against Brockton on Friday. First pitch to him, low in the dirt for ball one. Aiden Gruber threw only 8 pitches in the first inning. The 1-0 to Spiesman. Called strike on the bottom half of the plate, outside corner. 1-1 now to the senior. Spiesman back in the box. Gruber fires. Spiesman swings and misses, and it's 1-2. One-two to Spiesman. Swung on the outside pitch, and he's retired. Isaiah Burkholder now. Gruber's first pitch, fouled back by Burkholder. Won the count. Gruber ready. Here's the pitch. Called strike two. Top half of the zone. Gruber wasting no time. Here's the 0-2. Hit by Burkholder back towards the pitcher. Gets past Gruber, and the bounce is not able to be fielded by the shortstop. Burkholder safe down at first, and the first base runner of the game for the Wolfpack. Mason Groders, the freshman now. Gruber's first pitch to him. Swung on, hit towards third, takes a bounce right through the third baseman's leg. The shortstop comes to back him up, but not in time. And Groders is aboard. 2 errors have the Wolfpack cooking here in the second. Caleb Anderson now. Burkholder on second, Groders on first. Anderson at the plate. The right fielder ready to take a pitch from Aiden Gruber. Swings at the high pitch and misses. Strike one. Gruber takes a look at the runner on second. That's Burkholder. Now he'll deliver. Outside. And they throw down to second. Burkholder back. It is 0-2 now to Anderson. Still watching that runner at second. Now he'll fire. And nearly hits Anderson with that pitch. 1-2 now. Burkholder certainly has Aiden Gruber's attention back there at second. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. And down goes Anderson. Brady Phelps, the senior left fielder now for the Wolfpack, with 2 out and 2 on here in the second. I scored both those at-bats as an error on the infield. Both infielders able to get to the ball. Strike 1 to Brady Phelps. If Game Changer or someone else disagrees with me, feel free to let me know I'm wrong, but that's the way I score it. 0-1 to Phelps. Swings at the high fastball, and now 0-2. Gruber battling back nicely here, ahead 0-2. Called strike 3, so 2 straight strikeouts to get Frewsburg out of trouble. We'll head to the third after this word from our sponsors.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher's Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing...
Hinsdale ready to get back to action here in the third. First up, he has Ekman. That first pitch to Ekman, there's a ball. Mason Ekman walked back in the first. He gets a hold of that one on the third base line, but it goes foul. One now. Ekman back in the box. Hinsdale delivers. Swung on. High fly ball to left field. Phelps tracking it, and here comes Burkholder. He'll make the play. And one away here in the third for the Bears. Maddox Sheasley, the second baseman, due up now. Sheasley flew out back in the first. First pitch to him. Swung on and fouled off to the left side. Good battle so far here in Clymer. 0-0 top of the first. One out for the Bears. Hinsdale set to deliver the 0-1 pitch. That one fall off the table for him. 1-1. Hinsdale delivers. Swung on. Hit towards center. Burkholder tracking it. He's got a long run to get to it, but he makes the play. 2 down now in the third. Daniel Peterson, the center fielder, up next. He singled back in the first. And again, that one could have been ruled an error as well. Close call there. Burkholder got a late start going for it. I'm going to call it a single. It dropped in 10, 15 feet in front of the center fielder. High pitch, ball one. I just don't want to give a hit to Hinsdale if he doesn't earn one. There's a one up in the air to right field. Tracking it is Anderson. And a little collision there between Anderson and Abers, but Abers makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down in the third. We'll head to the bottom half, and the Wolfpack bats getting ready to run here in a 0-0 ball game on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher's Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com.
And welcome back into Clymer. We head to the bottom of the third. Johnny Abers due up, the sophomore second baseman. Gruber's first pitch to him, low for ball one. Johnny, the 9-hitter, will go back to the top of the lineup after he's done. 1-0 to him from Gruber. High, ball two. That one definitely had some sauce on it from Gruber. Here's the pitch. Called strike one. 2-1 to Abers now. That pitch low, and it's 3-1. Johnny continues to be a patient batter for the Wolfpack in the 9-hole. He's doing so again. Had 3-1 in the count. Ball four, and Abers is aboard for the Pack. Top of the lineup, Burchanowski, Hinsdale, Katniss. And they got Abers aboard. Maybe a chance for the Wolfpack to try to do something offensively here against the very good Aiden Gruber. Gruber gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Burchanowski gets a piece past the first baseman. That'll be good for a base knock. And Abers over to second. He's going to turn and go for third. And now he's going to be caught in a pickle between second and third. He dives, try to get under the tag. He's punched out there at third base. So Burchanowski goes to second, but Abers out as he attempts to go to third. So that'll bring up Hinsdale. He grounded second in the first inning. He'll step in to face Gruber with Burchanowski leading off second. First pitch, swung on, hit softly towards second, fielded on the bounce, and the play is made at first. Burchanowski up to third. Katniss now. He struck out back in the first. Opportunity to drive in a run if he could find a place to put one down in the middle of the infield. Gruber checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Nearly hits Katniss with that one. One 1-0 now to Tate. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. Well hit foul ball. 1-1 now. Burchanowski getting a nice healthy lead off the third. A pitch inside. Two 2-1 now for Katniss. Gruber's pitch over Katniss' head, and the count goes to 3-1. That one definitely got away from Gruber there. All batters count now for Tate Katniss. Aiden Gruber going to come back and try and pound the strike zone here. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit towards short. A slow roller to the shortstop fields it, fires to first, but it gets past the first baseman. The Wolfpack score the first run of the game, and Katniss will advance to second. He was going to be safe either way, so it is a single. And if the Frewsburg game changer can, I think, pick up my voice. Sorry, guys. Gruber did give up a hit there. He was going to be safe no matter what. Spiesman now with Katniss on second. He swings on that one, up into foul territory and out of play. Big for the Wolfpack to get on the board first here against such a good opponent. They have the 1-0 lead. Katniss on second, and Spiesman could drive him in with a nice hit. He's behind 0-1, though, to Gruber. Gruber trying to reel this thing back in. That one swung on, hit towards first. The first baseman dives and misses it. Katniss to third. He's going to turn the corner. The ball flipped by the right fielder, but not to anyone. And it just falls, and in comes Katniss to make it a 2-0 game. Not sure exactly what happened there between the right fielder and shorts and second baseman, but they did not move the ball into the infield, and Tate Katniss took advantage. Isaiah Burkholder now. The center fielder comes up after reaching by error back in the second. He has a runner on first, and that's a strike to him. The Wolfpack finally catching up to Gruber a little bit this inning, getting some hits off him for the first time this season. That one fouled back by Burkholder. And now 0-2 to him. To Burkholder. Called strike three, and Gruber's out of the inning, but not before a 2-0 CSP lead here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
Support for coverage of CSP baseball action on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream comes from JH Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa store stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Located at 955 North Center Street in Corry and NapaOnline.com.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
2-0 Wolfpack as we head to the top of the fourth here in Clymer. Aiden Gruber up to bat. First pitch to him called strike. And Gruber, the pitcher for Frewsburg, finally giving up a hit to the Wolfpack. The first one all season. He gives up 3 in that last inning. That pitch down low at his feet, and the count goes to 1-1. Hinsdale wasting no time. The 1-1 pitch swung on by Gruber, hit towards short, fielded there. Oh no, it got past Katniss, and Gruber is aboard. And then it gets past the outfielder as well. Brady Phelps drops the ball, and Gruber goes to second. So error on Katniss puts Gruber aboard. Cole Mazurka, the right fielder, now with a runner on second. Hinsdale gets his sign, checks the runner over at second. Now he throws high. Ball one. Mazurko showing bunt there. Pulls it back as that pitch came in above his head. Gruber did move up to third on that wild pitch. Bunt showed again. He puts that one up in the air. It's going to be caught there by Gavin Burchanowski. And there's one away. Drake Beckstrom now, the first baseman. He'll have a chance with a runner in scoring position. Umpire asking them to move back some bats on the Frewsburg side. And now we can get back to the action. Hinsdale delivers. Swung on, hit high in the air and foul. Pitch outside for ball one. One pitch. Up top for ball number two. So Gruber reaches by error, then Mazurko flies out to the catcher. Now Beckstrom, and it's 3-1 to him. Batters count for Drake Beckstrom. Hinsdale likes the sign, and time for the batter. We'll see what Gruber does here, how big of a lead he takes off third with this count. Fair size lead. Swung on and fouled back, and the count now full. Full count for Drake Beckstrom. One out and Gruber on third. Hinsdale's pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right side. Full count once again. Here's the pitch. Outside, and he'll walk Beckstrom. Gavin Weaver now, the first baseman. He flew out back in the second. He comes up with runners on the corners and one out here in the fourth. Hinsdale's pitch, bunt, laid down. Going to get back to the pitcher. He's going to wind and fire to first in time. And they did a good job of holding the runner Gruber over there at third. So Gavin Weaver retired. Here comes Blake Weaver now. The left fielder reached back in the second as they chose to go to second base with the ball instead and get the out there on Beckstrom. He'll come up now with runners on second and third. First pitch to him, strike one. Hinsdale's pitch inside for ball one. Hinsdale delivers the 1-1. Called strike. 63 pitches now for Bryce. That's where I got him. Maybe at 62. I think I may have got one extra there. Now 2-2 the count. Price delivers. Foul tipped into the glove. And the Wolfpack escaped the fourth. We'll head to the break. 2-0 CSP.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Financial support for this broadcast of CSP Baseball Play-by-Play on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Stone Audiology at 709 East Columbus Avenue in Corry. Also in Bradford, Northeast, and Kane, Pennsylvania. In Jamestown, Olean, Belmont, and Chaffee, New York. Phone 814-664-7070. Online at stoneaudiology.com.
CSP Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Troyer's Greenhouse, now open for the season Monday through Saturday. Troyer's Greenhouse is located at 1669 Weeks Road, just 2 miles west of Panama. Go Wolfpack from Troyer's Greenhouse.
Coverage of Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Whiteland Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Phone 716-499-8410. Find them online at mwhitepls.com. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Whiteland Surveying for their support.
Welcome back into Clymer. 2-0 CSP here in the bottom of the fourth. We'll take a look at the C playoff picture. Frewsburg go on to pretty much locked up the 1-2 seats. The Wolfpack in third, one game ahead of Portville with 2 to go for both teams. Portville, their remaining 2 games, they play tonight, and they're playing Franklinville right now, and they'll play Olean on Wednesday. First pitch here to Groders is low in the dirt for ball 1. For the Wolfpack this inning, it's Groders, Anderson, Phelps due up. The 1-0 to the freshman. Swung on and missed. Gruber currently at 41 pitches through 3 and 2 pitches here in the fourth. That one fouled off by Groders. So as I mentioned, Portville 2 games left, CSP 2 games left. Both teams kind of in a similar spot. That one's an outside strike, and down goes Groders. 6 strikeouts so far for Aiden Gruber. Caleb Anderson now. Outside pitch. Ball 1. Gruber's pitch. Swung on and very late from Anderson. Count now 1-1. Gruber delivers way outside, and it's 2-1. That one got away from his catcher. So Portville playing Franklinville right now. Franklinville currently a D school, leading the D rankings right now ahead of Brockton. That one fouled off by Anderson. Count now 2-2. So a big matchup for Portville with Franklinville today. As big as this one is for CSP against Frewsburg. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Anderson swing and a miss, and he goes down. Gruber has 2 away in the fourth. Brady Phelps now. Called strike on the outside half. Strike 2 there. Gruber wasting no time going right after these batters. Here's the 0-2 to Phelps. Swing and a miss, and he goes down. 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Gruber, and we'll go to the 5th. 2-0 CSP.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Support for CSP Wolfpack baseball coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listening area in all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790. Tina Dills and the ERA Team VP agents wish the Wolfpack the best of luck.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9 with your Erie weather, your favorite.
And welcome back into Clymer. First pitch of this fifth inning is a strike from Hinsdale on the outside half. He's facing the top of the Frewsburg lineup. That one hit to second, fielded cleanly, and the out is made in time by Abers. So 4-3 gets it started for the Wolfpack. Mason Ekman now. Hinsdale's pitch. Called strike one. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball two. 2-1 from Hinsdale to Ekman. Called strike two. That pitch outside, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Swung on, foul back. And this at bat will continue. Seventh pitch of the at bat. And ball four is the call. Hinsdale walks Ekman, and here comes Sheasley. Sheasley flew out to center field twice today, once in the first and once in the third. He'll come up here with one on and one out in the fifth, trailing 2-0. Hinsdale delivers. They'll try to throw the runner at second, and that throw just a little high. Abers not able to get it in time, and Ekman is safe. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, hit up in the air towards right field, and they had shifted away from that. It's going to fall in for a hit. Ekman will come home, and he'll come home with no throw. It's 2-1. So Sheasley ends up with a double there because of the shift. So they had shifted everybody to the left. The right fielder is playing really, basically right center. And Sheasley just dropped it into right field where there was no one. Daniel Peterson, the center fielder now. Called strike one to him. Two-1 ball game. Fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. One in, runner on second, and one out here in the fifth for the Bears. Peterson battling with Hinsdale. He's behind 0-2. Bryce punches him out with a nice pitch there. And there's 2 away here in the 5th. Aiden Gruber now, the pitcher. Walked in the 1st, reached by error in the 4th. He steps up with a runner on 2nd and 2 outs now. Hinsdale's first pitch to him high for ball 1. Swung on, fouled off. 1-1 now the count. Busy day here in Clymer. Track and field competition going on behind the baseball field. And, of course, this game, a huge CCAA Division II matchup. 1-1 to Gruber. Hinsdale checks the runner. Now he delivers outside. They'll try to throw to third to get the runner. And he beats it by a step, does Sheasley. Nice throw from Gavin Burchanowski. 2-1 count. Gruber with a runner in scoring position. Swings on, hits towards right center, and it will fall in for a base hit. Fielded there by Anderson. He'll get it in quickly, but not before the game is tied. 2-2 ball game. And pinch hitter here for Frewsburg. Chase Lombardo coming on for Cole Mazurko. Swings at the first pitch. And it goes foul. Mound visit from Coach Hare here as his pitcher Hinsdale is in a tight spot, and his pitch count's starting to get up there now. I have him currently at 84 pitches. Bryce not done yet. He'll have a little more strategy conversation with his catcher Burchanowski. So Chase Lombardo, the pinch hitter here, behind 0-1. And again, the right fielder quite a ways over, back behind the second baseman. They'll throw to first to try to get the play, and they do. They punch out Gruber at first, and the inning is over. Nice pickoff move there from Bryce Hinsdale. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 2 here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
CSP baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street in Corry. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by NISFA and the New York State Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back into Clymer. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 5th, and a very exciting matchup between the first and second place teams in CCAA Division II baseball. Aiden Gruber, 51 pitches through 4 innings. He will face the 9-hole hitter Johnny Abers and then the top of the CSP lineup. Gruber struck out 3 in the 4th. He comes out throwing strikes here. A strike to Johnny Abers to get things started here in the 5th. That's another strike right down the middle there from Gruber. 0-2 now to Abers. And just 3 fastballs down the middle sits down Abers. Burchanowski now. A pitch inside for ball 1. Here's the pitch from Gruber. Swung on and missed by Burchanowski. One. Burchanowski late to that one, and it's 1-2. That one low. Count now 2-2. Swing and a miss, and down goes Burchanowski. 2 Ks in the 5th, and that brings up Hinsdale. 10 strikeouts so far for Gruber. Bryce has ground out twice in this game. First pitch to him, he swings on and fouls off. Hits that one, I think, to third base on the softball diamond. The 0-1 pitch now from Gruber. Way outside, and it goes to 1-1. Here's the pitch. Way outside again. 2-1 count. Gruber's pitch. Swung on, hit toward short. A nice roller fielded nicely and over to first in time, and the side is retired. Wolfpack go 1-2-3 again. We head to the 6th here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Top of the 6th inning, 2-2 ball game between the 2 best teams in CCAA Division II and 2 of the 3 best teams in Class C. The Bears battled back from an early 2-0 deficit, and Hinsdale trying to keep things where they're at. First pitch outside for ball 1. And Mazurko now back into bat after they had pinch hit Lombardo for him in the previous inning prior to the throw out of Gruber at first. That's a ball as well. (2-0) to Mazurko. Another ball. And it's 3-0. So this is the 6, 7, 8 batters due up for Frewsburg. That pitch outside as well, and then he walks Mazurko on 4 straight pitches. Drake Beckstrom, the third baseman now. We'll keep a close eye on that. That's probably the most out of control at bat we've seen from Hinsdale, so hopefully he can rein it back in here against Beckstrom. He checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Beckstrom shows bunt. Low in the dirt. Spiesman up on the grass in case the bunt is shown again. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. Bryce behind 2-0 now. Pitch fouled off. Beckstrom, 2-1 count now. Bryce trying to get it back on track here. Timeout for the batter. So Beckstrom steps out. He'll recalibrate, step back into the box. Hinsdale checks the runner at first. Now he delivers. Called, strike 2. Two count. Hinsdale throws over to first. Not in time to get the runner. Mazurko back to the bag in time. Fouled back into the fence. Still a 2-2 count for Drake Beckstrom. That one swung on, hit up in the air back here by the backstop, and a nice play by Gavin Burchanowski. Burchanowski gets the first out of the inning there, catching the foul ball from Beckstrom. And now Gavin Weaver, the first baseman. Flew out in the second, ground out in the fourth. Comes up here with a runner on first and 1 out in a 2-2 ball game. Hinsdale throws strike 1. Hinsdale's pitch, swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 here to Gavin Weaver. That one lifted into foul territory and nearly caught there by Mason Groders. He laid out for it and ran into the fence, but couldn't come down with the ball. So the count remains 0-2 to Gavin Weaver. Groders back to first after nearly making that play over there by the fence. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and down goes Weaver. 2 outs here in the 6th for Frewsburg. Blake Weaver, the 9-hitter and left fielder, comes up now. First pitch to him. Fouled back. (0-1) to Weaver. And he swings and misses at that one. 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. Swung on. It is going to be to left field. Phelps coming on and makes the catch. And the side is retired. The Wolfpack will get their bats back out for the bottom of the 6th here in a 2-2 ball game on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
Support for coverage of CSP baseball action on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream comes from JH Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa store stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Located at 955 North Center Street in Corry and NapaOnline.com.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
A 2-2 baseball game, bottom of the 6th, and Tate Catneys will lead off for the Wolfpack. Spiesman on deck and Burkholder in the hole as they try to get some hits off of the very, very good Aiden Gruber. And someone's got to break this thing open. 2-2 now. Since the 3rd. First pitch to Catneys. Outside for ball 1. Hinsdale doing his job through 6. Gruber trying to match that effort. Swung on by Catneys, hit towards short. Well played there, and the throw to first is in time. So 1 away now. Spiesman stepping in. He struck out in the 2nd and singled in the 3rd. His single in the 3rd was an RBI single, bringing home Catneys. Pitch is outside. Gruber ready. Here's the pitch. Way outside this time. Both pitchers showing like they've been pitching for 6 innings here. A little bit of control issues for both of them. 2-0 to Spiesman. Swing and a miss at that outside pitch. Two-one. Swing and fouled off. And the count goes to 2-2. Spiesman, as I said Friday, a really good day. Had a single and a home run against Brockton. He fouls that one back to stay alive in this at-bat. Sixth pitch of the at-bat now. Gruber winds and fires. Fouled back again by Spiesman. I'm sure they've screwed my camera up at this point. I'll fix it after the at-bat. Here's the pitch. Spiesman chases low. A drop strike 3, but fielded quickly, and the play is made. Burkholder now. Two outs here in the 6th for the Wolfpack. Burkholder attempts to lay one down, strike 1. A pitch outside for a ball. Burkholder gets a piece back towards the mound. Gruber fields it off the bounce. He fires to first in time, and the side is retired. We'll head to one more commercial break, and then it'll be the bottom of the top of the 7th here in Clymer.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Financial support for this broadcast of CSP Baseball Play-by-Play on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Stone Audiology at 709 East Columbus Avenue in Corry. Also in Bradford, Northeast, and Kane, Pennsylvania. In Jamestown, Olean, Belmont, and Chaffee, New York. Phone 814-664-7070. Online at stoneaudiology.com.
CSP Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Troyer's Greenhouse, now open for the season Monday through Saturday. Troyer's Greenhouse is located at 1669 Weeks Road, just 2 miles west of Panama. Go Wolfpack from Troyer's Greenhouse.
Coverage of Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Whiteland Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Phone 716-499-8410. Find them online at mwhitepls.com. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Whiteland Surveying for their support.
Hinsdale gets the top of the Frewsburg Bear lineup here. First pitch swung on and hit over Catnese's head. A base knock to get things started for the Bears. So a single lead off by Hagelin. Ekman now. Ekman walked twice and flew out in the third. Two in the 7th. What a great game we're watching here between Frewsburg and CSP. Hinsdale will hold Hagelin at first. Bryce's pitch, swung on, hit foul. So that one doesn't help Mason Ekman and the Bears. He's behind 0-1 now. We're ready to get it back going. 0-1 the count. He swings at the high pitch, hits it towards left field. And it's going to fall in there for a hit. Phelps grabs it, snatches it, throws it in. The runner will turn the corner and go. Bobbled by Catnese, and the runner scores. So Hagelin from first gives the Bears the lead. And that may be it for Hinsdale now. Bryce pitched an excellent game. Looks like Tate Catnese will come on in his place. We'll watch Catnese warm up with a word from our sponsor here in the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Support for CSP Wolfpack baseball coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listening area and all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790.
Welcome back into Clymer. Katniss comes on to relieve Hinsdale after 6 innings. Hinsdale went 6 and 2 batters. Didn't get an out here in the 7th. He give up a single to Hagelin, who eventually scored on the single from Ekman. Ekman now on second. First pitch from Katniss is a strike. He'll pitch to Sheasley, the second baseman. Next pitch hit toward short, fielded cleanly there. The throw to first. In time, and there's an out. The runner Ekman up to third, and David Peterson. Peterson singled in the first, flew out in the third, and struck out in the 5th. He steps in with the runner on third, that's Ekman, and 1 away. And a 3-2 lead for the Bears. He shows bunt. Fouls that one back. Spiesman in on the grass now. He won't be caught sleeping with the bunt attempt. Tate ready to go now. Ahead 0-1 to Peterson. That pitch low for ball 1. The pitch swung on, hit towards short, fielded cleanly. They'll go home with it, and the throw is high, and no play can be made by Burchanowski. Run scores, that's Ekman, and that's now 4-2. And really just not the right throw from short, and I think Johnny Aber's pretty upset with himself out there. Aiden Gruber now with a runner on first. Tate throws him a strike. Gruber walked in the first, reached by error in the 4th, singled in the 5th, and then was picked off at first. Swings and fouls that one off. It's 0-2. Katniss gets his sign. The 0-2 to Gruber. Strike 3. Now the throw down to second is behind, and the ball gets into the center field. The runner takes off to third. Here's the throw. He's down, and safe there is Peterson. So Gruber goes down with a strikeout, 2 away, but now Peterson also in scoring position as Cole Mazurko steps back into the batter's box. Katniss checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit toward short, and Abers boots the ball, and a run scores. (5-2) now, Frewsburg. as 2 errors have cost the Wolfpack here in the 7th. Drake Beckstrom now. Throw back to first, not in time. Mazurko back there in time. Catney's pitch, swung on, fouled off. Swing and a miss. Counts now 0-2 to Beckstrom. Beckstrom has Mazurko on first and 2 outs here in the 7th, but they've scored 3 runs in this inning. That one's high for ball 1. And that one over the batter's head. 2-2 now. Timeout for the batter. So 5-2. Wolfpack digging themselves a 7th inning hole here as they had kept this game 2-0 lead early. They give up 2 in the 5th to let it be tied. And now he punches out Beckstrom to end the inning. So the Wolfpack now have a hole to dig out of. They're down by 3 going to the bottom of the 7th here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
Support for coverage of CSP baseball action on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream comes from JH Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa store stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Located at 955 North Center Street in Corry and NapaOnline.com.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 sports stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane.
And welcome back. Bottom of the 7th, Mason Groder's the leadoff batter. First pitch to him is in the dirt. So the Wolfpack have work to do here in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 5-2. And Aiden Gruber hoping to just put this thing away. Groders fouls that one off, and the count's 1-1. The Wolfpack 6, 7, 8 due up. Groders, Anderson, and Phelps. The 1-1 to Mason. Swung on, hit right back at the pitcher, gets past him, and will bounce into center field. A base runner aboard for the Pack. That's Mason Groders. Caleb Anderson now. Struck out in the 2nd and the 4th. Anderson with 1 aboard. Gruber ready to go before the umpire was. Now he'll get set again. Here's the pitch. Anderson fouls it off. Groder's back in plenty of time there. Gruber still checking Groders. Now he'll pitch. Called. Strike 2 to Anderson. 0-2 now to McCaleb. The Pack right fielder. Gruber delivers, swung on, fouled off, and he'll stay alive at least for now. Aiden Gruber ahead 0-2 to McCaleb Anderson. Here's the pitch, and nearly hits him. Gets away from the catcher, but Groders has no opportunity to move up. 1-2 now to Anderson. Gruber's pitch, called strike 3. So 2 outs left for the Pack here if they can get some runs. Brady Phelps, the next batter. Gruber ready to pitch. Anderson swings and misses. They throw down a second, but the ball gets away from the shortstop. Otherwise, Groders would have been out, but he is safe. Brady Phelps behind 0-1. 5-2 Bears, 1 out for the Wolfpack here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Phelps fouls it back. Oh, 2 to Brady Phelps. Called strike 3. Johnny Abers now. Wolfpack down to their final out in this one. First pitch to Abers inside. That pitch called strike. 1-1 now to Abers with 2 outs and a runner on second. Timeout called by Johnny. Gruber very close to finishing this one off. Abers trying to keep the Wolfpack alive. Outside pitch called strike 2. And it's 1-2 now to the sophomore. Game on the line here. Gruber sets and fires. Called strike 3 on the outside half. And the Wolfpack are retired here in the 7th. Final here today, 5-2. Valiant effort from the Pack. Comes up just a little bit short against the very good Frewsburg Bears team. Frewsburg clinches CCAA Division I on Friday, so this game doesn't stop them from having that already accomplished. But they also will all but lock up the top seed in the C playoffs today, as Gowanda will be the 2 seed. The Wolfpack now, depending on what happens between Franklinville and Portville, could potentially fall into a 3rd place tie with Portville. Wednesday's games become very important because whoever ends up with that 3 seed will go to the Gowanda side of the bracket. The 4 seed will go to this Frewsburg side of the bracket. We'll find out Wednesday on the 98.9 Sports Stream. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by Countertop Solutions, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Supply, Triple E Manufacturing, Necker's Company General Store, Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing, Troyer's Greenhouse, by Stone Audiology, by Whiteland Surveying, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Mosher Carpeting, J. Edwards Insurance, Utegg's Body Shop, by Lictus Oil and Propane, and Tina Dills, ERA Team VP Licensed Real Estate Agent. Tune in next time for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball.